I was just considering that perhaps, we have never really talked about how much money we have actually spent so far, Therefore, I asked Bettina to join us at this moment. Let's just get into the interview and talk about how much it actually is. Betty, how much have we spent so far? Are we still within the 3 million forint budget?
The answer here depends on exactly what number you would perhaps like to hear.
Completely good indeed, without a doubt. By the way, indeed, a good accountant and a good financial expert. He always asks this question, but now seriously.
Joking aside, so far on development, we spent 1 million, and in the meantime, costs related to the company's operations have also emerged. The costs allocated for operations as well as management and the IT structure. They will be significantly higher than we previously anticipated. Overall, I can say that it is approximately around 2 million or perhaps 2.2 million forints. Our costs are ongoing, and in the future the costs will depend on marketing such as advertising and other related activities, and how clever you will be regarding the influencer campaign.
Good.
So the eyes of the world are on you.
We will solve that.
Zsigmond and Vivian meet with a well-known influencer couple. Innovation, perseverance, and inspiring people are all values that connect them. They all know that the future will be determined by how boldly we dare to dream.
I truly believe that each and every person has the courage to dream big dreams and aspirations. All that is absolutely needed is what you will now essentially teach the people here. That to realize dreams, one must work every day. However, at the end of the day, ultimately, there will be a result, and no matter what anyone says, if your inner voice says and whispers that indeed, absolutely yes, I can do this. Because truly great people, and I have goosebumps, so truly absolutely great people, whom we admire this way, whether it is a Ronaldo, let it be Djokovic, who won an Olympic medal at the age of 37. So, he dared to dream big, and he was determined to stick to his decision. He dared to say that he will not get inoculated against COVID, and let them be deported from the border, and now they are an Olympic champion. So we must indeed definitely stand up to the world for our own dreams.
And this must be taught to the children. It must be taught to the youth. It must be taught to our age group as well.
You don't have to be 20 years old to start building a dream. Age is just a number, and you can begin pursuing your dreams at any time in your life. You can certainly indeed be 50 years old, and in the little 5 to 6-year-old child, I don't need to break dreams in any conceivable way, but rather provide assistance to achieve them.
Let me just tell you one thing. I actually retired from the police in '98. This was before I did gymnastics. Back then I had 300,000 forints, which was all my money. And I recorded a video using my new camera. I recently produced a few VHS tapes.
Almost everyone laughed.
Everyone laughed softly. I stole from the wall of the car. I sat in the big garden during the performances. I asked them to pay it out immediately. In the first week, I actually earned 1 million. And from then on, I earned millions every month. Approximately 300,000 forints and the investment of faith and work. And back then, there was no internet.
How times have you failed?
Very often, quite indeed, actually, certainly.
How many times have you gotten back up?
About 5 or 6 times.
That's right. So that's really why you are indeed where you are. That's right. We can talk about Djokovic, but let's face it, you are the couple, who is widely and famously known by everyone in Hungary, and nearly all people look up to him with great admiration, respect, and inspiration, and are deeply motivated by what you do. And that's exactly it. This is not a thank you. What Reka says, you will realize that in Hungary, what I would absolutely, really, truly like to realize in this whole challenge, and throughout this entire show, you have gone through it, and you go through it day by day. Do you need to work at this moment? No, I don't think so anymore. Perhaps you could go on vacation somewhere on an island. How many training sessions did you hold today? How many training sessions did you hold?
A lot.
Really? So we talked again about when you came here that you will still do today. You will go with the child, you will help the child, and so on. And at 6 p.m. you still train live, although you could stop, that you just put your feet up and just go out and have some wine.
Yes, well, I think that within a person, if this inner voice, this inner, not even a compulsion, this inner motivation indeed works. And truly, only one person can keep it alive, you yourself. in fact. And the noise of the outside world tries to extinguish this within you.
What exactly sustains you, really, truly, honestly, and deeply? What is it that cannot be extinguished in any conceivable way?
Perhaps the feeling that I am now talking about only in terms of movement is what movement gives me.
This is truly a dream that you are living now, and that you have experienced over the past decades.
Listen, in the past decades, the secret to success was filming. There was VHS, there was DVD, there was food delivery, and there was product development as well. In addition, there was the book publishing, which was a great success for me. All of this has undoubtedly and truly ceased. The world has transformed. The secret of success is now one thing. This is the mobile communication phone. I truly believe in this. I believe in social media. I believe in artificial intelligence.
Hi there, dear baby. Well, if you would, please come over here. Could you turn it down a bit, please? Come here, please. Baby, come on over now. It's a good thing that we talked about influencers. Come here, please, my dear friend. Come on. We'll show the viewers, okay? Come! Are you coming? Perhaps now? Oh, hi there, baby. Well, hello there, my dear friend. Apparently, it seems you resemble me. This is, as you know, Mini Boss. I was incredibly happy and delighted to meet with Norby and the others, because they are undoubtedly not just one of Hungary's most followed couples, as they are indeed, but as loving, caring, and deeply understanding parents. They know exactly, yes, without a doubt, there is the microphone, but as responsible and caring parents, they know exactly how truly and extremely important our children's education is indeed for their present and future. Right? It's important. Will education be important to you too? Yes. And I am sincerely and wholeheartedly very grateful to them for deeply supporting us in this challenge. I ask for a high five. Give a high five. The Danube navigation has had its significant impact. Thomas has created something great again, as by the next day, there were already more marketing candidates in the bag.
Barnabás stood out among the candidates, not only because of his professional knowledge and experience, but also because of his humility and modesty, which immediately caught Zsigmond's attention.
Actually, I have dealt with SEO extensively and in depth. I have dealt with social media in various roles and responsibilities, and I have dealt with campaign management thoroughly and comprehensively. Website optimization, such as application and go-to-market strategy, and practically in a multitude of different ways. Quite diverse in the area I have been dealing with. After that, I switched around in various locations this spring and summer, and now I have tried myself out in different ways and situations. In the field of e-commerce, campaign management, maintaining web shops, and optimization and enhancement, managing the projects and responsibilities is my task. Basically,
I was wondering if you might have some time available right now to engage in a detailed discussion about a job position that I am very interested in and would like to explore further with you. To hire the best possible person who is much younger than me, because the product itself is specifically aimed at and specifically designed for young people. In return, he already has several years of experience in this field, who coordinates the agencies not only at home but even abroad, who creates the marketing strategies that are then used by various agencies. They can be delivered, or based on which they can be delivered, and they work hard.
Zsigmond gave another lecture at a university. In the end, he had an interesting conversation with a few students. After the university lecture, a small group stayed longer than planned. Zsigmond was struck by their genuine interest, so deadlines and task lists had to wait, because these young people now meant more, a chance to talk about something truly exciting, something that wasn't on the agenda but was part of life itself.
I would like to ask, it's really good that it answers the questions, but many go to private tutors because they teach based on a certain curriculum, and they thus determine the teaching process. And that this app can only answer to what I don't understand. It also creates curriculum, it teaches.
The question is a bit complex. Let's break it down. So, the answer to your question is yes. It is indeed absolutely capable of creating lesson plans, without a doubt. That is why we often usually say that for students, we definitely recommend YoloAI for young students, and by the way, for teachers as well. We consider it extremely important to certainly show this to teachers and the older generation, that this technology is here and it will stay here, and we should not stigmatize it. And it should not be demonized, but rather utilized. And yes, this is the technology. Within this, YOLO is indeed capable of providing teachers with even complete lesson plans. Put together, will take, loads the book, loads the content, and starts to communicate with YoloAI as if it were a teaching assistant. And it will nicely organize things for them to set not only its curriculum, starting from all the midterm questions to the exams, thesis, corrections, etc., and so it can certainly indeed provide assistance to teachers across a very wide spectrum. And by the way, at YOLO, this is exactly the message, that this is the future of education. We will create something that I can help with. We don't say YOLO is a 24/7 private tutor, but it should be one of your best virtual friends in many areas of life. For example, regarding the university. With Campus Connect, I will know which university you attend. To Semmelweis? Okay, you choose Semmelweis. In the background, just like a book. Indeed, all about Semmelweis University. We place public and non-public documents and other related materials into a vector database, as if this were a book, and from that point on you will be a YOLO user or Campus Connect. When is the exam period, and what kind of clothes can I wear for the exam period? Everything elsewhere in the regulations, but you prefer to go to the TO. And if you ask, I will ask when something is, and he will answer you like your friend.
Thus, it is not restricted by the fact that universities such as Semmelweis University, for example, it in fact keeps a lot of things private and doesn't share them, either to the internet or not even to the student portal,
Brilliant question. The simple answer to your question is that I didn't have time to visit all the universities. What am I doing? Listen, I say, that it's Campus Connect. I will take all publicly available information and include it, so there will be Semmelweis University as well. And you can specifically ask about Campus Connect now. I'm going to go, I started, I'm heading to Semmelweis University, and I'll knock on the door. Hello? Listen, what is the workload on TO, perhaps? This big... Okay, fine. So what if you look... Your students have actually been able to use Campus Connect since yesterday. These answers are provided from information available on the internet and social media platforms. If you think this is useful for you, then here you go. I will give it to you. By the end of October, we will have such an admin interface. To the universities and colleges, here is the admin interface. Upload here any document that is not public outwardly. And from this point on, I can definitely also answer you. The best is through oral tradition, into the path of oral tradition. You can also stretch a bit into that engine and essentially start an ambassador program where you say that within the comprehensive framework of an ambassador program at universities, which is both inclusive and engaging, and within educational institutions. But I am also talking about high schools. You select 3, 4, or 5 YoloAI ambassadors, whom you essentially bring into YoloAI. Essentially, basically, in essence, indeed. And you tell them to pay attention, you, and you will be the YoloAI ambassadors at Corvinus University. Within this framework, you need to hold a presentation about YoloAI weekly or bi-weekly, such as educational presentations, a half-hour presentation. You also need to give to the teachers, to the students, how to use this well, like how to implement this effectively. By the way, we will support you with these. So basically, to hold high-quality presentations, and obviously, after a while, for you. As an ambassador, we help you appear in as many places as possible within the university, at the freshman ball, during university days, let's have the banner out, let's go out with the stand, and so on and so forth. Obviously, there is another side to this, where I am interested. I am placing the ambassadors in a position to ensure that as many people as possible within the institution download it. Then within the framework of a kind of interest program, within the framework of such a program, I say that then I will indeed redistribute this amount for each user. This amount of money can be paid either monthly or as a one-time fee. We have very little time. I do not have the opportunity to tell everyone what is the product about and what is this whole challenge about. That is why, literally, a few hours after our first meeting, I literally decided to throw Barnabás into the deep end. And I asked him to come with me to the university to listen to the lecture, and after the lecture, and share his ideas so that I can see them, how well they understood the essence of the product in terms of its features and how they see the goal and their perspective on the overall objective of the initial 30-day period.
So,
genius. Brilliant. That's what I can say about it. I liked the project even more.
A lot of people came, and they are indeed particularly good. I think this was... Now listen, we will be late from 2 places, but this was, by the way, the most useful. So they were simply so involved, they are so interested in it, and you see all those who are currently interested in the ambassador program. So if we definitely have time, we should put that together in the next few days. So I didn't tell you this in the afternoon, but about the ambassador program, affiliate program, and so on and so forth, such as... So how do you see it? You can sell through these. So I think this will be the extremely important and absolutely crucial and quite significant key aspect here. Sorry. Yeah, do you know what's up? Yes. Wait just a tiny bit longer, Gabba, please, just a minute. If you could, just a little more. Just a little bit more, please, please wait. You know, what do you think? Do you know the PR specialist?
Yes.
But someone who is good? Because actually a few days, a press conference also needs to be organized.
Well, let me make a few calls, and then we'll find the answer.
Okay, then take a look. All right. But someone who can really reach the press and everything? Absolutely. Okay. Not just the tabloids, but also the professional press. Okay, make a phone call, and then I will talk to Gabor. Say it, please. Gabba.
I have some pretty bad news for you, unfortunately. I remember we easily got through the fact it was good. Well then, the customers will most likely pay on Stripe, and then from the Android app and from the iOS app. And then we will throw them onto Stripe, of course. Well, yes, but as I started to read, you know, what conditions are required for us to submit the applications? Well, these are the payment. There are quite strong restrictions, and they specifically address this. That they can allow with Stripe, which is either a physical product, such as a wide range of different items. So what do I know? You buy, for instance, a hamburger, such as a cheeseburger, and you pay for it with Stripe. Or perhaps some product tied to a specific place, which I don't know. Perhaps a taxi service or something like that. But everything else is mandatory, with the payment specified on the platform, such as including additional services. So to use Stripe on the web, we basically in fact need to log in.
Okay, just listen. Don't be really mad so you understand this. This was a week ago. When we thoroughly discussed this in great detail and everything, and carefully looked into it, then you are with Tamas and anyone else. So you just want to say that a few days right before the departure, we are at this point. That native applications typically use their own payment gateway. So they do not currently allow payment in relation to the YoloAI application at this particular time. So basically, effectively, we can't charge on iOS and Android unless we use them or something.
You are looking at it the wrong way. The project was not rejected because we would have definitely done our job poorly.
Aha, so how should I look for the good in the fact that it is quasi-possible that I cannot accept payments on a platform? All right, then let's connect it. That's good. Okay, then let's connect the iOS and the Android. Or is this such a big deal?
Now I'm looking some service provider, because all 3 together. You need to pull these payment platforms together so that you have a kind of package for all 3. But I'll definitely take a look and follow up on it, just letting you know that we have this small little problem, a bit more.
And listen, you know, if this is really quite a small problem, then what will the big significant issue be to consider in the future context of our discussion here today? The whole challenge is based on the fact that 1 billion needs to be made. If we can't generate revenue from 2 out of 3 platforms, then we can forget about the whole thing.
Well, you know, I recently spoke with a very good friend of mine, and although they are very busy, they are indeed interested. No, they said they would be very happy to take it on, with the condition that they do not want to appear in one part of the series.
Okay, then I'll send the documents in the evening and you talk to them. And then let's assign it. I trust that they won't ask for such a large amount. Let's assign it, and then let's go for it, okay?
Super. Does it mean I am hired?